Right now, in this very second, your liver is doing something you have absolutely no idea about. Every single time you swallow a mouthful of fruit juice, the kind with the bright label, the kind that says 100% natural, the kind you grabbed this morning thinking you were making the smart choice, your liver quietly, silently starts converting that sugar into fat. Not the fat you can pinch, the fat you cannot see. The kind that wraps itself around your internal organs, the kind that raises your risk of heart disease, the kind that quietly destroys your metabolism from the inside out, and the kind that doctors do not catch until it has already done years of silent damage. And here's the part that changes everything. A glass of Minute Maid apple juice carries more fructose than a can of Coca-Cola, scientifically measured, published in a peer-reviewed study. More fructose in the so-called healthy juice than in the soda everyone told you to avoid. This video is going to show you the exact biological pathway, enzyme by enzyme, molecule by molecule, by which that fructose turns into fat inside your liver. Once you understand how this works, you will never look at a glass of juice the same way again. Before I break this down, you need to know where this information comes from. Everything in this video is sourced from published, peer-reviewed research. StatPearls, that is the medical reference system doctors use, covers the biochemistry. The fructose concentration data comes from a study led by Dr. Michael Gorin at the University of Southern California, published in the journal Nutrition. The liver disease statistics come from a 2024 review published by the American Diabetes Association, and the research on uric acid and fructose comes from Dr. Miguel Lanaspa at the University of Colorado, published in PLOS One. This is not opinion. This is not a health hack. This is the same biochemistry taught in medical schools right now. Here is the number that should stop you cold. Dr. Gorin's team measured fructose concentrations across dozens of popular juices and sodas. They did this specifically because nutrition labels only show total sugar. They do not break out how much of that sugar is fructose versus glucose. And as you are about to learn, that distinction matters enormously. On average, fruit juice contains about 45.5 grams of fructose per liter. Soda averages about 50 grams per liter. Almost identical, but Minute Maid 100% apple juice measured at nearly 66 grams of fructose per liter. Coca-Cola sits at 62.5 grams per liter. More fructose in the juice than in the Coke. Now, if you drink juice regularly, orange juice in the morning, apple juice with a meal, a smoothie built from fruit, this is for you. If you are over 35 and you have belly fat that will not move no matter how much you exercise or how clean you think your diet is, this is for you. If your energy crashes every afternoon, your gut stays bloated throughout the day, and your doctor mentioned your triglycerides are a little high, this is absolutely for you. Because the issue might not be how much you eat. It might not even be what you eat. It might be the exact form the sugar is arriving in, liquid, concentrated, with no fiber to slow it down. And fruit juice is one of the most overlooked delivery systems for the one type of sugar your liver is least equipped to handle. Your body does not treat all sugars the same way. Glucose and fructose look almost identical on a nutrition label. They have the same number of calories, but inside your body, they take completely different paths. The difference between how glucose and fructose are processed is not a minor detail. It is enormous, and your liver sits right in the middle of that gap. Everything I am about to show you depends on understanding that gap. Here is where this gets real. When you eat glucose, the sugar in bread, rice, potatoes, your pancreas releases insulin, your cells open up, and glucose gets used for energy across your entire body. The system has checkpoints and feedback. It knows when to stop. Fructose works completely differently. According to StatPearls, more than 90% of fructose is metabolized by the liver through first-pass metabolism. It goes straight to one organ. And once it arrives, here is exactly what happens. 4 steps, in order. Step 1. Fructose enters your liver cell. An enzyme called fructokinase grabs it and converts it into fructose-1-phosphate. Critical detail. Fructokinase has no negative feedback. It does not slow down. It converts fructose at full speed with no brakes. This also burns through your liver's ATP, your cell's energy currency, and that ATP crash triggers the uric acid problem we will cover next. Step 2. Aldolase B splits fructose-1-phosphate into two fragments that enter a metabolic crossroads inside your liver cell. These fragments get processed into pyruvate, which then converts into acetyl-CoA, the building block of fat. Step 3. Your liver activates de novo lipogenesis, making new fat from scratch. Fatty acid synthase assembles acetyl-CoA units into a 16-carbon fatty acid called palmitate. Palmitate is the primary fat your liver manufactures when fructose overloads it. Step 4. Palmitate gets packaged into triglycerides. Some stay in your liver. That is how fatty liver disease starts. The rest gets shipped into your bloodstream and deposited as visceral fat around your organs. Now here is the piece most people never hear about, and this might be the most important part of this entire video. Remember, fructokinase burns through your liver's ATP with no off switch. When ATP drops that fast, AMP, a breakdown product of ATP, gets converted into uric acid. Uric acid. Most people only connect that word to gout, but research published in PLOS One by Dr. Miguel Linaspa and his team at the University of Colorado found something that changes the whole picture. Uric acid does not just sit there and cause problems on its own, it actively goes back and stimulates fructokinase even more. It creates a direct feedback loop inside your liver. Your liver processes fructose faster, produces more fat, generates more uric acid, which triggers even more fructokinase activity, and the cycle repeats. Fructose does not just cause fat production once, it sets up a self-amplifying cycle that keeps making the problem worse with every single serving. Beyond the fat production, high uric acid has been independently linked to insulin resistance, endothelial dysfunction, that is, damage to the inner lining of your blood vessels, and a measurably increased risk of cardiovascular disease. This is not an occasional side effect. This is a direct, documented biochemical consequence of drinking fructose-heavy beverages on a regular basis. Let me put this into real numbers. Non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, NAFLD, is the most common chronic liver condition in the world. According to a 2024 review published by the American Diabetes Association, estimates of NAFLD prevalence in the United States range between 24 and 38%, depending on the methodology used. That means somewhere between 1 in 4 and 4 in 10 adults in this country carry some degree of fat in their liver right now. The reason this number is so shocking is that NAFLD produces almost no symptoms in its early stages. Most people who have it do not know. There is no pain, no obvious warning sign. It is completely silent until the damage has already built up over years. And NAFLD does not only affect people who are overweight. Research shows NAFLD is present in roughly 15% of people who are not obese. Your liver can be accumulating fat even if your body looks completely normal. Here's the progression. Simple fatty liver is the starting point. It can move to inflammation. That stage is called NASH. From NASH, between 10 and 29% of patients develop cirrhosis, permanent liver scarring, within 10 years. The number one cause of death among people with NAFLD is not liver failure. It is cardiovascular disease. Fructose, especially from beverages, has been directly linked to NAFLD development and severity in human clinical trials. Now, here is something that might surprise you. None of this means you need to stop eating fruit. A landmark study from the Harvard School of Public Health followed 187,382 participants across 3 long-running cohorts over more than 2 decades. The researchers found that people who ate whole fruits, specifically blueberries, grapes, and apples, had up to a 23% lower risk of developing type 2 diabetes compared to those who ate less than 1 serving per month. But people who drink 1 or more servings of fruit juice per day increased their risk of type 2 diabetes by up to 21%. The difference is not the sugar itself. The difference is fiber. When you eat a whole apple, the fiber creates a physical barrier around the fructose. It slows absorption. Your liver receives fructose gradually, in small amounts, over time. That is manageable. That is how humans evolved to process this sugar, in small doses, wrapped in fiber from whole food. Drink apple juice, and that fiber is gone. You are delivering a concentrated load of fructose directly to your liver with nothing to slow it down. And as we covered, your liver has no brake on how fast it processes fructose. That is the entire difference between eating fruit and drinking juice. It is not about avoiding fructose, it's about delivery speed. And delivery speed determines how much fat your liver builds. So what do you actually do with this information? Here are 5 evidence-based steps. First, swap juice for whole fruit. Replace your morning glass of orange or apple juice with the actual fruit. You get the same vitamins, you get the fiber, and your liver receives fructose at a pace it can handle. Second, read labels on everything. If a drink says 100% juice or no added sugar, that does not mean it is low in fructose. Fructose is naturally present in fruit. In liquid form without fiber, your body processes it almost identically to soda. If a single drink has more than 20 grams of sugar, your liver is being hit hard. Third, if you drink juice, keep it small, 4 to 6 ounces maximum, and pair it with protein or healthy fat. That slows absorption and reduces the fructose spike reaching your liver. Fourth, pay attention to your triglycerides. If your doctor has flagged high triglycerides, fructose from juice, soda, and processed foods is one of the first things to examine. Triglycerides are one of the most direct markers of how much new fat your liver is producing. Fifth, drink more water. It asks nothing of your liver. It supports every function, and it costs nothing. These are not miracle fixes. These are small, supported shifts that reduce the fructose load on your liver before damage becomes serious. Here is what I want you to take away. Fruit juice is not the health drink the industry has marketed it as. The fructose in it follows a very specific, very well-documented pathway inside your liver. Fructose to fructose 1-phosphate, fructose 1-phosphate to acetyl-CoA, acetyl-CoA to palmitate, palmitate to visceral fat stored around your organs. That pathway is real. It runs every time you drink juice without fiber to slow it down, and it runs harder in juice than in soda, because juice delivers fructose at a higher concentration with 0 fiber protection. You now know something most people, and honestly most patients, have never been told. That knowledge gives you the power to make a different choice, not a perfect one, a smarter one. If this video changed the way you think about what you put in your body, type yes in the comments right now. And if someone in your life drinks juice every day believing it is healthy, share this video with them. This information could protect their liver, their heart, and their long-term health. That is not exaggeration. That is biochemistry. Hit subscribe. Every claim I make, I verify before it goes in front of you. That is the standard here. Take care of your liver. It is the only one you've got.